Hey guys, and welcome back to your daily dose of punk rock brain rot. So, this is a series on my channel called Tales from the Pit, where essentially I rip off Reddit stories from the internet, I make a patch, and then I read them out to you. So, for you dopamine fried motherfuckers out there with nothing better to do, grab some popcorn, sit back, relax, and enjoy as I sacrifice my own sanity for your entertainment. Okay, so there's no actual theme to this video. I'm just gonna read off random shit I find interesting. I was left in the parking lot at a Grateful Dead concert back in the 80s, hours from my college. I wandered the parking lot for 2 hours looking for my ride. After getting harassed by the cops, I pointed to a random car, told him I found my ride, and walked to it. It ended up being a couple of girls from another college near mine that had their car break down in the parking lot. I managed to get their car running. How? I have no idea, as I was way less than sober, and they offered to take me back to school. We ended up getting a hotel room and going the next day since it was so late, and partied the rest of the night. When I got back to school and sobered up, I found out my friends had ditched me, got pulled over on the way back to campus, and spent the whole weekend in jail. It went from my worst concert experience ever to the best ever in a span of a couple hours. Jeez, talk about karma. Another concert the same year, I was going to see Aerosmith with White Lion. I was a Vito Bratta fan, and I was really excited to see him live. On the way to the show, they announced on the radio that White Lion had abruptly pulled out of the tour. I really didn't give a crap about Aerosmith at the time, so my roommate and I were really pissed off. We get to the show, and they make an announcement over the PA. Some guy from one of the local radio stations comes out and says that in White Lion's place is a band from LA called Guns N' Roses that no one's ever heard of. People do not like this. People start throwing stuff at the stage and booing, and this band just played on while a near riot was happening. Halfway through their set, I don't think anyone even seemed to care if Aerosmith even got on the stage. I still have a t-shirt and an album I bought there with the Robot Rapist on the cover. Both of those were at the Charlotte Coliseum. Oh, poor Guns N' Roses. Poor Guns N' Roses. It's kind of crazy to see how far they've come now. When I was in college, my school got OK Go for a free concert for students. Midway through the concert, I saw open seats in the second row and decided to take them. During the concert, confetti cannons would go off at various intervals, covering the floor with this thick red and blue confetti. As the concert was coming to a close, the lead guitarist threw his pick and it hit me in the face because I was too drunk to catch. So I bent down and started looking for it, but because there's so much confetti everywhere, I was struggling. While I'm searching, the drummer threw his drumstick exactly where I had been standing, and it would have hit me square in the chest. But because I was looking for the guitar pick that I never actually ended up finding, I missed the drumstick as well. Fuck! That's brutal. That's so brutal. Yikes. I think I'd take like 10 plus psychic damage if that ever happened to me and just never emotionally recover. It kind of did happen to me. So I went to go see Iron Maiden earlier this year. I had floor tickets. It was their Future Past tour in Kudos Bank Arena, Sydney. I was crowd surfing to The Prisoner, which was awesome. But when I got back, I realized my phone had fallen out of my pocket. This was to the song Death of the Celts, by the way. So I went back round to where I was lifted up to crowd surf, and I tapped this guy on the shoulder, and I'm like, hey man, have you seen my phone? I think it fell out of my pocket. He's like, nah, I haven't, but he whipped out his phone torch, and he helped me find it. And then we would tap the guy in front of us, and we'd be like, hey, have you seen my phone? And then he'd whip out his phone torch and have a look around. He's like, no, I can't find it. Then we tap the guy in front of us, and we just end up being like this whole leapfrog chain, and before you know it, this whole like line of metalheads would have their phone torches out, helping me find my phone. We ended up finding it right near the front, and I held it up, and everyone cheered. It was such a group effort, and it was like right near where the beat drop for like Death of the Celts was, so it was just perfect, and it was just such a wholesome moment. I got super close to the front because of it though, and if I had stayed there, I genuinely think I would have gotten a guitar pick or a drumstick or something. But I decided to continue moshing because I don't know. I shouldn't have. I was dehydrated and genuinely about to pass out. But like, also, Can I Play With Madness is such a fire fucking song, and I will lose my shit every time. There was no excuses. The worst part is I saw them throw guitars and drumsticks and guitars, a whole guitar, no, but like The worst part is I saw them throw guitar picks and drumsticks to the area where I was standing was before I got into the pit. And that was just so painful. It hurt so much. Oh man, there was also this one guy, like right at the front, who would grab water the bouncers would pass down and then throw it back behind him. Like, instead of giving it to someone who was, like, dehydrated and dying, crying, throwing up. Like, it was such a fucking dick move. I told him to, like, quit it. And other people got on him about it, so he had to, like, stop. But it was so fucking awful. Also, this creepy old guy was, like, genuinely low-key hitting on me, and I didn't realize what was happening until he started talking about Iron Maiden attracting a certain caliber of men, and that certain caliber of men being alpha males. He was a self-proclaimed alpha male. So, do with that information what you will. He offered to let me stand in front of him so I could get close to the stage, and I'm like, no thanks. And then escaped via the mosh pit. I teared up that fucking pit though. I had 4 people come up to me after the show ended and like dap me up and give me a high five. It was such a nice community. Killswitch played too, and that was so cool. Like, seeing My Curse and Holy Diver was awesome. 14-year-old me would have been screaming. 18-year-old me was screaming. Also, another little tidbit I'll leave you with was the security wouldn't let me into the venue because of the spikes in my battle jacket. So, out of pure, unbridled spite, I sat down in front of him, got a plastic bag, and proceeded to take off all my spikes one by one. I'll put a photo of it here. But like, I unscrewed the whole thing, and he really got on me about it. This man was so fed up with me. He was like, just cloak the whole jacket. And I'm like, no, I literally have a hand-painted patch that takes up almost my entire back. Also, fuck you, this band changed my life. I completely forgot the spikes there when I left the venue, so my jacket's still naked. Whoops. Well, in that case, I hope you feel like your neurons are severely depleted. If they are, then I know I've done a good job. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you all on the other side.